only for you. It's actually your time with you. It's for you. You have taken this decision of coming into hotel management, and this is going to help you to think about your way forward. Okay, so I want you to just pay attention and be here with me. I'm happy to answer questions. So you can type your questions on the chat window and I'll be happy to answer it as and when I see it. My focus is going to be on what I want to teach you, and so the questions may just get answered in the end or may automatically get answered in the process of the whole talk. Okay, so I'd request you to be a little patient with me. Now, the way I teach is I teach with a lot of metaphors and examples because I feel that helps to make you understand what I'm trying to convey. Okay, and I'm happy to answer questions, like I said, and I'm happy to also hear from you and listen to what you have to share from time to time. You know, I want to make this quite interactive between us. Okay. So the first question that might have arisen in your mind is, why do I need to plan for success right now? I've just decided on what my career is, what I want to do, and my future will really depend on the marks that I will get or how I will do the campus interviews. And you're right in thinking like that, because this sort of planning and this sort of initiative that we are going to take is really charting the future for you. So I want you to understand this. For a moment, I want you to imagine that you are in a small rowboat. Okay, you are in it with your best friend. It's a beautiful time of the day. The sun is setting, the wind is blowing. You have your oars, you both have safety jackets on. You have a nice picnic basket with a lot of good food in it. And you are all set to have a great time with your best friend. Now you're in the middle of this river and you cannot see the shore. So you have no clue which direction you need to go in. And in order to find land, in order to get off your boat, in order to enjoy your picnic. So you have no choice but to guess and move forward in the manner that you understand is best, right? And as you keep moving forward, chances are that you have no clue where the land is and you might just be going in circles and circles. All this despite the fact that you have a good companion, you have things going your way, you have good food, you have everything, but the opportunity is lost, right? Because there is no proper planning in it. So this is how exactly you could end up going in circles where you don't end up being anywhere, just because you have not given yourself, your career, some good thought and developed a vision, mission and goals for your career, which is what we're going to look at today. Now, like when you go, let's go back to the boat for a moment and let's think that you actually had a plan and you had a compass and you knew where the land was, and the scenario was different. You had the same food, the same friend, the safety jacket, the lovely atmosphere, but you knew where you're headed. You knew how much time it would take on that boat to reach where you had to reach. You knew how much time you could spend in that picnic, and you knew how much time you had to get into the boat and come back safely to your destination. Then in that cases, chances are that your experience, you would have created a memory of a lifetime and you would have remembered it, right? So similarly, when you are studying and you're embarking on this journey, if you already have a vision of where you want to be in the next 5 years, a mission of what are the things that you should be doing in order to fulfill your vision, and goals that will inspire you to fulfilling your mission and that are compatible with your vision, you can imagine that you are already setting yourself up for success. Okay, your goals are like the rudder on the boat. You know, the boat has a sort of a part at the end which is a rudder which sort of governs which direction your boat will go in. So your goals are the rudder in the boat, and they set the direction and determine where you go. If you commit to one goal and you keep working on that goal, then the rudder stays put. and you are moving in a direction which is forward and you are achieving certain things. But if you keep flip-flopping between goals, you have one goal one day, you have another goal another day, you have a third goal the next week, then you're going to move all over the place and you're just going to keep going in circles and not achieve anything, right? So this is a lot of smart thinking for you, a lot of introspection, an intelligent way to really be in tune with what you want to do, okay? So there is another part of the boat that is very important other than the rudder. That is the oars. You know, the oars with which you row the boat. The oars are really important because the rudder is your goal and your oars are the process for achieving it. The rudder determines your direction. It is the oars that will determine your progress. So let me just explain this with respect to the hospitality industry, because it might just be becoming too much about a boat for you, right? So if you are a chef, okay, and your goal is to say be a celebrity chef, then your system would be that every single day you experiment with new ingredients, new recipes, innovative ways of coming up with things, right? If you are a front office receptionist, say you have a great goal of becoming the GM, then your system would be to be able to service each customer in a manner where they are completely satisfied, right? If you're a housekeeper, your goal probably would be someday to become an executive housekeeper. Then your system and your daily work would involve being efficient in your work, having honesty, having integrity, and being particular about cleanliness, right? If you are an assistant F&B manager and you aspire to become an executive F&B manager, for example, like governing 3-4 restaurants and all of that in the hotel, then you would have to be very efficient at the way you pick up your KOTs, how to do the inventory, how to handle the clients, how to know the names of your clients who are regular, and what do they order regularly. All these things are going to get you brownie points in your progress in your career, right? So you have a goal and then you have a system with which you focus that this is what I have to do in order to achieve that goal, okay? So in order today for you to get some clarity on where is it that you want to go for yourself, there are 3 aspects that we are going to look at, namely your vision for yourself, your mission, and your goals. Okay, so let's start with the vision. Your vision is your personal vision is a brief summary of your career, ultimate career goal, what you want to become ultimately in your career. It should typically communicate your goal in 30 to 40 words. Okay, that goal could be anything, without any limitations, without censoring yourself. It could be becoming a world-renowned chef, it could be becoming an author, it could be becoming the GM of a hotel, it could be anything. Okay? Now, developing a clear vision statement can help you to establish a path towards your final goal. And that will help you to navigate career choices according to the changes in the market, and it will guarantee you professional success. Okay? Now let me give you an example. I had a friend around 10 years ago. He's in the hospitality industry. He still is. And he was quite confused about what he wanted to do in his career. He was great at the front office, that is servicing clients. He was good at F&B, servicing clients again, where he would serve them and he would sort of have conversation, remember their names, know who the regular guests are, what they like, etc., etc. He was good at that. He was also very good at management, which is working in a team, delegating things to people, getting work done, meeting deadlines, and all of that. And he also had another skill, which was being good at computers. He was a computer whiz. He was great at computers. Okay, so he knew all of this, and he had written it down. And he kept looking at it every day and looking at what is the best career choice for me. And from a very ordinary perspective, he would have ended up in a very good job in probably a 7-star property with, being the manager, etc., etc., which is what would have being the scenario, is what he would have thought. But because he knew that this is my unique skill set, that I'm great at computers, I'm great at managing people, I'm good at F&B, and I'm good at front office work, he kept looking, what is it that will marry all these skills together and put me in an advantageous position? And as he kept looking for it, that opportunity found him. A few years ago, there was a change in the softwares that all the hotels and travel industry was using. So they were using some other software, the name of which I don't know, but they changed to a software called Galileo. Okay, and Galileo was being launched. It was launched in the US. So this friend of mine actually got an internship at a hotel in the US where he mastered this software. And then your guess is as good as mine, right? He was the most sought after person. He's traveled all over the world. He's set up the system in so many hotels, and he's carved a unique niche for himself in the hospitality industry. He's now a specialist in setting up systems for hotels, and he's doing really well for himself. So this was his advantage because he had written down what are the skills that he has that is unique to him, which makes him stand out in a crowd. And as he kept that in his consciousness and he kept looking at it, the opportunity surfaced and he recognized the opportunity as ideal for him. Okay? So that's what we're going to look at. We are going to look at a personal vision statement for yourself. Okay? How to do that. So the first step is to identify your skills and your strengths. Okay? Knowing your strengths and how to apply them is very helpful. What are your skills and your strengths? They are just things that come to you naturally. Okay, if you like cooking, it's something that comes to you naturally. You like talking to people, it's something that comes to you naturally. You don't like talking to people at all, then it's not your strength, right? But if you love to clean, you love to be organized, you like to take inventory, you like to keep track of how much is, how many resources are spent and how much is needed, then that is your strength, right? So whatever is your strength is what you need to look at. Math could be your skill. Anything could be a skill. Managing other people could be a skill. Working in a team could be a skill. Organizing an event could be a skill. So I want you to do one thing. I want you to take a minute. I'm going to time you for a minute. And I want you to write down what are the skills that you think you have. Okay, take a moment and write it down. Just say my skills. Just write down my skills and just write down the skills that you have. So your skills could also be any activities that you enjoy. It could be any of your passions. Just come up with 3 or 5 strengths or skills, and some of them may even complement each other. Yeah, so I trust that you have written down your skills right now. Okay. This second part is to reflect on your values. Each of us have certain values that are very important to us. Okay. So identifying your core values is a key step in developing your career vision. What are your values? Working on a long-term goal is easier if you know that they are aligned to your values, because your values are something that is inculcated to you as you are growing up. It is something that you know as a way of life. So what are your values and how do you come to know what are your values? So anything that motivates you, okay? Write down anything that really motivates you. Deadlines may motivate you. For me, deadlines were always a motivation. The moment I have a deadline, I will perform. I'm that kind of a person, right? So there could be anything that motivates you. Okay, anything that makes you happy is also a value that you have. So feeding people could make you happy, or interacting with people could make you happy. Customers, serving them could make you happy. So write down your core values, anything that makes you happy. And the third aspect is what inspires you. Does working with a team inspire you? Do numbers inspire you? Meeting targets, doing calculations. What inspires you? When you find that your values are contributing towards your goals and they are related, then it becomes much easier for you to step into that space of achieving your goal. And it helps you to decide what is a good goal for you with your skill sets, with your values. Okay? The next step in identifying your goal is to select your desired position within your field. So within that, the first thing is choose your field. So you all have already chosen your field. You know that you want to work with the hospitality industry. So that part of it is done. You have narrowed down from being a doctor, an engineer, or whatever else to being in the hospitality industry. So that's great. That is one thing that's done. The second part in figuring what you want to do is pick a role. What is the role that you want to play? And look at a role that you want to play in the next, say, 4 to 6 years, because otherwise it can get quite overwhelming. Rather than the long-term goal, which is at the end of your career, I would want you to look at something where you see yourself, say, 5 years from now, say, where you see yourself 6 years from now, because working towards that goal will be much easier for you because you will be motivated on a day-to-day basis. So let me give you an example. Suppose you're interested in the front office, okay? And maybe you start at the bell desk. Somebody who's starting at the bell desk, if they aspire, the highest you can go in front office is become the GM of a hotel, right? So if somebody at the bell desk is aspiring to become a GM, whatever he does, he's not going to be motivated because it's going to take him a lot of time to complete that journey from being a bell desk at the bell desk to becoming a GM. But at the same time, somebody who is at the bell desk, suppose they think of going to the concierge in the next 4 to 6 years, and every day they have that dream that I want to be a part of the concierge, and they keep putting in the work and they keep putting in their daily efficient inputs in order to reach that goal. Chances are that they will reach there. But a person who has a goal which is to become the GM directly from being at the bell desk, that is going to be a very tough journey to complete and to stay motivated, right? So you pick up a goal which is achievable for you, which is you have to put in some work. It may be out of your comfort zone. That's okay. In fact, that's great. But not to go in the overwhelmed zone where you feel that whatever I do, I'm not reaching there. So not to pick something like that. Just look at the next 5 years or the next 6 years. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Just look at that. Okay. So you have a goal like that. Then what you do is set role specific goals. Okay, how do you set role specific goals? Write down some of the things that you hope to accomplish in this goal. Why do you want to do this job? When you ask yourself that, you will automatically get an answer that why you want to do it. Is a confirmation for you that you are on the right track. Okay, and this may not be something that you may actually get in one sitting. It is something that you work with yourself continuously and you keep getting insights. Okay. Revising your goals and your personal vision statement is natural, but it's best to start with one so that you can see what is working and what is not. So you may not get it right in the first time itself, and that's okay. If you didn't get it right, it just means that you tried, and that's okay. Okay. Once you have got this information together, you write your career vision statement and you put it into action. Okay. You write out your mission statement. Now, what is your mission statement? Your mission statement is something which is typically written in exactly 2 sentences. Okay? And the 2 sentences are, the first sentence is simply stating the field that you want to work in. Okay, just the field that you want to work in. So general, say GM of a hotel, or an executive housekeeper, or front office receptionist, whatever it is. Okay, now the second sentence is, you should in the second sentence you should explain your reason for setting the career goal in your first sentence, okay, which you have mentioned in your first sentence, and some maybe unique concepts that you want to launch. Say, for example, you want to launch an eco-friendly way of running a housekeeping department, right? So what is it that you want to do that is different and that will make you stand out? Okay. So for this now, I want you to close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, and I want you to feel relaxed. Okay, and as you relax, I want you to think about this choice that you have made of being in the hospitality industry. And what would be a real glorious future for you? I want you to think of this, of where you would like to be in the next 5 to 6 years. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself working? What are you doing? What is your daily work? What is your routine? Now I want you to write this down. Say in around 2 sentences. I'm going to give you a minute. I want you to write it down. So the first sentence should be your career goal, and the second sentence should be what you need to do in order to get there. If you have finished writing and you feel comfortable to share it, I would be happy to see it. You can just type it on the chat window, and you could just choose to send a private message to me, and that's fine. Yeah. And I'm happy to review it and help you work with it also. So I want you to look at a few examples of vision and mission statements. Okay. Okay, this is the first one. My career goal is to become a chef working in a vegan restaurant. I have always wanted to feed people healthy food which not only nurtures them but is also sensitive to the environment. So you can see the first sentence clearly explains what the person wants to be, the job position. They want to be a chef working in a vegan restaurant, right? And the second sentence says the reason why they want to be there, because they always wanted to feed people healthy food which not only nurtures them but is also sensitive to the environment. So you see, it gives a lot of purpose to why that person wants to be there. The second one is, I see myself as a front office manager. So very clearly this person has stated where they want to be in the next 4 to 5 years. And what's the reason? What do they have to do for that? What is the process? The process is, I love talking to people and I'm an approachable person. I have a strong commitment to service and client satisfaction. Get it? So this is what the person needs to do in order to reach that goal. Let's look at another one. And here the person says that my career goal is to become the CEO of a chain of hotels. Okay? And what he needs to do for that is he's great at delegating, management, and teamwork. Okay? So, yeah, so you just have to figure out what is the process on day to day that you have to do in order to reach that goal. You need to have that vision so that you're able to succeed. You're able to know that what is it that I need to do on a daily basis in order to reach where I want to reach. And if you keep your sight on a goal, chances are that you will be alert to all the opportunities that will show up for that goal. Right? Okay. So, yes, once you have achieved your mission and your vision statement, so I trust that all of you have your mission and your vision statement ready. Okay, then we go into details as to how to look at achieving your vision and your mission. And that is where comes in goals. Okay, all of you have heard of goals, right? So we are going to look at goals. Goals are of two types. Okay, there are short-term goals and there are long-term goals. Okay, your goals are stepping stones to achieve your vision and your mission. So just having a vision and your mission is not going to help. You have to also think about what you want to do and how you are, what is your daily action which is going to take you towards achieving your goals. Okay, so you have to set a target or an objective that you wish to achieve. So different targets could be, you may think of learning a certain software. You may think of learning how to learn about body language to understand more about a person before they even speak. You may think of learning some very unique cuisines and use of herbs and combining Ayurveda with your food technology and all of that. There are so many, the possibilities in your field are endless, right? But if you have a clear vision and mission, then you can have a goal. Okay, so you have to have goals which are long-term goals and which are short-term goals. Long-term goals may be, say, if your vision is and your mission is something that you're looking at where you will be, say, 5 to 6 years later, then maybe you can set goals that you have to achieve on an annual basis, on a yearly basis. Like every 12 months, you may have a new set of goals which you need to achieve, and that may be your long-term goal. That in 12 months' time, I need to have done A, B, C, D, E. So you see, very systematically, you are setting yourself up for success. A person who works this way is very likely to be very successful and do very well for themselves. So your long-term goal, like I said a moment before, in case your vision and your mission is, say, you're looking at 5 to 6 years ahead, then in this case, your long-term goal could be an annual goal, a yearly goal. So your goals could be something as simple as, say, you want to get 90% marks in a couple of subjects, okay, that you have chosen. And then you can look at what are the things that I need to do in order to reach there. So that will be your short-term goal. So probably you need to have a study routine. You need to work on certain projects. You need to get savvy with some new developments in the field. You need to probably do some research by sitting in the library for a few hours. So these will be your short-term goals. So your short-term goals are actually stepping stones towards your long-term goals. Do you understand? It's like small steps that you take every single day, but it leads up to a bigger goal that you are always keeping in your mind, that every day I have to do this so that I reach there. Because otherwise it's very easy to get lost in the whole daily routine of, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to get up, I need to have bath, I need to study, I need to attend lectures, and finish. My day is over. But a person who is truly motivated is a person who has the mission and the vision, right? And when you have the vision and the mission, and you keep that in mind, and your goals are clear, and you have your short-term goals which are aligned and which are going to lead you towards a long-term goal, slowly you are going to start achieving things that you will find measurable. You will be able to measure that this is the goal I set for myself. This is what I was able to do. This is what was easy for me. This is what was difficult for me. And that is where your learning process starts. You understand what are your true values. You understand your core principles. You could make a mistake. You could decide that, okay, I thought I could do this, but I'm finding it really difficult. But you know what? When you start planning for your goals and for your career, and you have a vision for yourself right now, you can keep reassessing it. And you can keep revisiting it, and you can keep thinking about what else is possible for you. And as you keep thinking about that, you will automatically start moving to in a pace where it is like a planned uh, charted course for your success. Okay. So, for example, if your vision is to become a celebrity chef, okay, and a part of your mission is to write a recipe book, okay, so then your long-term goal may be that in 3 years' time, I need to publish my book, okay. Your first year's goal may be that you may decide that first you need recipes, you need matter, right? So in the first year, you may want to try out various recipes. You may want to standardize those recipes. You may want to figure out what are the notes, what are the variations, how do you want to write the recipe book? Do you want to write it in grams? Do you want to use a cup and spoon measure, or do you want to do it intuitively? All those things have to be taken into consideration. For that long-term goal in that 1 year of standardizing recipes, you may want to say that every week I need to perfect 2 recipes, right? So first is trying the recipes, then figuring out the taste, getting the perfect taste and the way to serve it, etc., etc. And then the second part of the of standardize it. You understand? So every week, if you will do 2 recipes, then you have 52 weeks in a year, and at the end of the year, you would have 104 standardized recipes. Now, if half the time you're going to forget it and you're going to think, I want to write a book, and you don't have any direction and there is no planning, it's possible that you may not even have tried out 50 recipes in a year. But if you have this planning, then you know that, oh, okay, we are already on Thursday, I haven't tried the recipes, and maybe you will keep your Saturday and Sunday free to sit and work on that, standardize it, get it done, and every week you know that this is something you need to do. And you get disciplined about the way you work, and you're keeping on putting your good effort and your work. And believe me, hard work and good amount of effort that is put in will never go waste. Remember this always. Be thirsty for knowledge. Keep looking for what else you can do, and you will find that you are opening up more and more possibilities for yourself. Okay. Now, coming back to the recipe book goal, which is say 3-year goals. In the first year, a person standardizes the recipe. In the second year, they could just say that, okay, we need to click good photographs of each and every recipe. So again, try the recipe out, present it well, make sure there is a good background, maybe have a photo shoot every week or once in 15 days or once in a month, right? For that, organize all the tableware, the crockery, the cutlery, the flower arrangements, whatever decorations, whatever accessories are needed. That could go on the second year. And the third year could just be, making a plan to go and approach a publisher, to find somebody who will sponsor the project, constantly making slideshows and presentations to go and present the same thing to 50 people. And you never know where that one opportunity will click, because it is one in many opportunities that clicks. What we can do is we can keep trying. You must have heard of this book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, by Jack Canfield. It's quite a famous book, and there are many versions of it. So, for Chicken Soup of the Soul, it was a book that was rejected by 144 publishers. And it is the 144th publisher that told Jack Canfield that, okay, I will publish 1,000 copies of your book, that's all. I am not going to print anymore. And once he got that opportunity, within a month, his book was on the New York bestseller list. But when the 144 publishers were rejecting the book, he did not sit back disappointed. He motivated himself so that he will reach somewhere. And he believed in his vision, he believed in his mission, he believed in his target, and he kept doing it because he knew that it existed, and that possibility existed where this book would be a great success. Okay, so I want you to now take 5 minutes. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I want you to take 5 minutes, and I want you to write down what is your long term goal for the next year. What is it that you want to achieve in the next year? I understand that it could be just academically related, and that's okay because you're all in college, you're studying, right? So what is it that you want to achieve, a long-term goal in the next 1 year? And then I want you to break it down into bite-sized, small, short-term goals that you will achieve in the coming year. So the first step that I want you to do is that I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to time you. Okay, so take 5 minutes and write down one long-term goal and one short-term goals that you would want to, and few short-term goals which are aligned to the long-term goal, I'm sorry, that you want to achieve in the coming year. Okay, so I've put on a timer. Go ahead and write that. I'm going to be right here, and I'm happy to chat with you if you have any questions regarding this. Yeah. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, I'm happy to chat with you privately or publicly. You can choose and you can type your questions, okay? Just answering everybody right now. It's so nice to see all of you sharing so much. Thank you so much. It's really very motivating for me. We are 3.5 minutes up. There's 1.5 minute more for you to write down your long term goal and your short term goals. Okay, I'll just answer this question and I'll just be back with you. Your 5 minutes are up. Just give me a moment. Okay, great. It's wonderful to see so many youngsters who are really motivated and want to, talk about where they want to go in their career already. It's beautiful. So let me tell you one thing. Now that you know about your mission and your vision and the way you should chart your goals, I want you to know that now the thing for you to do is to review this every day. Write it down and keep it somewhere where you can see it. Okay? And make sure that you are seeing it, you're reading it. And if you're feeling shy of keeping it out in the open, then stick it inside your cupboard. But view it every day. Write it on a sheet of paper and put it in your pocket, in your wallet, where you can read it privately every day. Stick it on the mirror in your room. keep it somewhere where you review it every single day and you keep yourself inspired as to what you want to do. Okay? Let it guide your job search. Whenever you're looking for internships, you're looking for opportunities, you're looking, to do things which are supportive to you, which are going to help you with your career. Read your vision, read your mission, and then go ahead and see, is it aligned? This is what I want for myself. What I'm thinking for myself, is it aligned to my vision? Is it aligned to my mission? Is it aligned to my core values? And when you start thinking like that, you're going to set yourself up for success. Okay? Another great thing to do is, when you're reflecting it on every day, you are going to sort of change it a little bit and modify a little bit, which is great. And always include it in your resume. Because remember, these 2-3 sentences that you are going to write about yourself is something that you have really thought about. And when you have thought about it, that process is already involving a lot of shortlisting and figuring out, removing the things that you don't want and including the things that you want. So it is very specific and it is really custom to you. And something that you have given so much of thought to is a brilliant input to discuss in an interview. Like, if you have a vision and mission which is well thought of and you've put it out there, and somebody who reads your biodata is going to ask you a few questions, you would be able to talk about it for hours. And that would be really impressive, because your knowledge would just be flowing. You would have clarity as to why you want to do something and why you don't want to do something. And that is exactly what they're looking for. They want to find the perfect person for the perfect job. So the more you focus on this, and every week or every month you review it, you look at what you want to do, it's going to help you. Okay? So part of your career development definitely involves reassessing and probably changing your goals also. Okay? I want you to review it every day. I want you to understand that as you will gain more experience, you will want to expand your vision, and that's normal and that's natural. And it is a part of evolution. It has to happen. You have to keep changing it because the skills are going to become more, right? So you can keep expanding it. And remember one thing, that today, whatever you have written, it is not written in stone. Right? You have the permission to change it. You have to give yourself the permission to change it, to alter it according to what really is supportive to you. Okay? I wish you all the very best, and I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I hope that you get value out of it. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most
Thank you,
welcome.
ma'am.
Thank
you, ma'am.
ma'am.
I'm mute. I'm so sorry. I was in mute. Thank you so much, Leena. It was
You're
wonderful.
welcome.
It was wonderful. Student must have learned so much. I hope they have goal. They have
Yes,
written
I
goal
hope
now.
so too.
Yes, ma'am.
Students,
Yes, many of
you
them have
enjoyed the
personally
session?
messaged me so much. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. All the best, students, and thank you so much, Leena.
Thank you. Thank you so
for
much. My
the
pleasure.
session. It was really wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. See you. Bye.
Oh, see you. Bye.